not only does it basically do overall more stats, like it gives more stats for using a shield than a DPS. Look, see? It does 450 damage on cast, and it does about 600 if I cast on an ally. So it's better to put it on someone than put it on an enemy. And then another thing to factor on top of that is, let me just see what I'm buying here. Oh, I want to buy something that gives me a lot of AP, but nothing works. Maybe I'll just buy a defensive item. Sure. No, I can't buy that. It's worthless. Oh, whatever. I'll just buy this for now. Yeah, blue plat. Another thing you have to factor in is that also it's essentially more HP than that because of the way armor works. So resistances, like, holy shit, is he gonna die? No, he did die. Okay, so back to what I was explaining. I have to break through resistances to deal that full amount of damage. So from that 450 damage, on most targets, because I don't have Sork Boots, I'm gonna deal like a shit amount of damage. Like, just a god-awful amount of damage. Whereas, if I put it on an enemy, or I mean an ally, they also have to, the enemy team has to have that mitigation to actually deal that much damage. So, the number, so that 450 that was before that I get for doing it on an enemy is actually lower than that. I'm doing 300. Whereas, because of resistances and stuff, it's actually higher when I place it on an ally. So on a Hecarim, specifically, like the Hecarim has about 50% reduced magic resistance and, like, I don't know, or 50% less magic damage taken, right? And his armor 63. So that shield becomes 50% more effective. Then if it were used to attack, which because I'm attacking someone, they now benefit from their own magic and armor resistance. So that's why it's, even before the Lulu changes, that's why it's always been more effective to it's always been more effective to use it on an ally opposed to an enemy. Like, Hecarim would have died already, but I shielded him there, so instead of doing damage on the opponent.
They aren't gonna like this.
50% less damage means they take 2 times less damage, not 50% less. Sure, we'll go with that. I actually don't know how it works, but I'll trust you. But the point still remains the same. You know what I mean? That's why That's why Lulu is so obnoxious. And that's why I feel a lot of people think Lulu sucks. It's because they're playing her wrong. She's like... She's not sustained DPS as much as she's like sustained shields. I don't know how to explain it, but... She just gives so much value to your team as long as you don't get bursted. You specifically, because you can just keep giving people, you know, insane amounts of health. Shields are not affected by resistances, George? Are you sure? I don't think that's correct. I think shields are affected by resistances. Pretty damn sure they are. They definitely are. I will not even question myself.